What's up, guys? We're Tanktosis, and this is World of Tanks here in Seoul, Korea. GOMTV. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing quite well, Tasos. Happy to be back with you. It's been a couple of weeks since we got to cast together.
That's true, actually.
Yeah.
Merry Christmas, by the way.
Merry Christmas to you as well.
And Merry Christmas to you guys at home.
And to Tank Girl.
And to
who
Tank
you're
Girl.
watching right now.
That's right. We have already had a great season so far. The Koreans are getting better and better as World of Tanks continues to grow out here. It's funny because we started out in the open season. The players were a little bit bumpy. Or the games, I should say, were a little bit bumpy. The players weren't quite as experienced.
And now we have, I would say, about 4, maybe 5 teams that are like really quite good and give very good games. And then a couple others that they're good, but just not at the same level, kind of get rolled when they play against the
You could say tier 2, I guess.
Yeah.
We're still in the group phases here, but as this gets further and further, we're going to see who is going to be crowned the champion here. And also, of course, have the opportunity to represent their nation, Korea, on the world front.
Yes, indeed. And you know what? Noah definitely has a good chance again. Arate, a good chance again. If either of these guys win, they are on top of the standings by far. Like those are really the 2 teams to watch out for, I think, from Korea.
So, Artosis, what'd you do for Christmas?
I opened presents and played with the baby, and yeah, it was awesome.
You get anything cool from Santa?
I did. I got a Nintendo 3DS, the big one. It's so badass, man. I love it.
Better than the small one.
It is, because I had the small one. I use it all the time because we travel so much. Okay. And so
I bought someone the small one for Christmas.
It's awesome. No, I loved it, but it was time to upgrade, I guess.
Time to upgrade.
That's what Santa thought, at least.
That's what Santa thought.
I agree now that I
got some nice clothing.
Yeah.
Some games.
Yeah.
And I also bought myself a bunch of Hearthstone cards. But it was a good Christmas. My dad was in town in Seoul as well. So we had some drinking with Dad.
That's quite nice.
Drinking with Dad on Christmas out here in Korea. It was really nice.
Some eggnog?
No, it was a bottle of whiskey.
Don't worry. I knew you didn't have eggnog.
Yeah. Can you even get eggnog in a bar out here? Do they even do eggnog in Korea?
No, I don't think in bars.
What is eggnog exactly?
It's nutmeg, eggs, sugar. If you get real eggnog, it has rum in it.
Yeah. If you're not a wuss, man, it's got to have some rum in it.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I don't think I've ever had eggnog, actually.
I had a funny dream the other day. Actually, eggnog is really good.
Really?
Tara will make us some. I'll show you some.
Right.
It's actually it's nice.
Some post-Christmas eggnog is in the mail.
Look, it's still Yuletide time or something. Anyways, I had this dream that I just want to bring up randomly.
Yeah, sure.
Because we're here casting World of Tanks, and we were talking about Christmas and gifts and things. I actually had this dream that someone's like, hey, Artosis.
Yeah.
The second fastest Tier 8 light tank is on sale for World of Tanks. And I had this dream. I actually had this dream, and I'm like, oh, sick. Okay. And they're like, they're like, it's just like the AMX 1390 that you like so much. And I'm like, okay, sick. And then I got it in my dream. I actually had that dream.
That's crazy.
I think I probably had it.
Because, no, listen, I had this dream. I kid you not. And it was actually a World of Warplanes dream.
Really?
I have not played World of Warplanes yet. I'm really excited to. But, in my dream, you know when you have these like really vivid dreams that are just like awesome and epic and colorful? There was a giant plane, and the plane's wings had tanks on them.
What?
I'm not even kidding. It was massive. And then it crashed, and tanks went everywhere, and it was awesome.
That's awesome.
Anyways,
World of Tank Planes.
So that was basically what it was in my brain. I'm like, well, this is the coolest thing I've ever seen.
This is why you don't work at Wargaming.
Well, how are you going to fit these tanks on the wings of this plane? So, guys, come to the studio. It's packed out here. I think there's nothing that comes close to filling. In fact, we don't even have seats in here now that I'm looking over the ledge here. Yeah. It's so packed. This is like a fire hazard right now.
Look, well,
come down here, and we're doing giveaways, okay? Whether, it's Type 59 giveaways.
That's a very good tank.
That's a very good tank.
Some Tier 8 tanks will be given away. Those are worth quite a bit. And, there's, of course, if you come down here at all, you get gold, you get a premium coupon. And today we do have a special event as well because it's the end of the year.
Yes.
And let's take a look at that. Year-end party. You get the secret box.
The chicken pizza party.
That's right. And you even get a beer if you're over 20 years old. That's pretty sick, huh?
Yeah.
You and I are over 20 years old.
Yeah, we're way over 20 years old. I want some beer.
See if there's any left at the end of the
cast
cast.
better with beer. I hope that
Of course.
Of course, man. So, yeah, come on down. because this is the season, Artosis. 'Tis the season
for jolliness.
For jolliness, and chicken and beer.
I feel like
which pretty much leads up to jolliness. So
the season for jolliness. It's like Lionel from Jolliness. Ho!
What's Lionel from?
Thundercats.
The Thundercats, right?
Yeah, of course.
I only think of Schnarf.
Oh, yeah.
When we talk about
Schnarf.
Oh, Schnarf. Yeah. I actually YouTubed him like 2 weeks ago.
I feel bad for Schnarf because he is like the unevolved version of the Thundercats. He's like actually... What is he exactly? Because he talks and he's like them, like his face, but he's got the body of a cat.
He has some degree of intellect.
Kind of dumb, but
he's
not as smart as them.
He's dumb enough to get in trouble.
Yeah,
but not dumb enough to be like, to not let him out of the house. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, he's Schnarf. He's
Schnarf is like a domesticated. He's not like a domesticated animal.
He has emotions. He thinks about things.
Yeah, he has feeling. He gets worried. He goes, "Oh no, Schnarf," like that. Yeah. And you're thinking, okay, the poor guy's getting worried. But clearly something's going on with his brain because he can't stop saying Schnarf.
Well, I mean, that might just be like a minor disorder. I think that's not. I think you're overstepping.
Or maybe it's one of these. With the Schnarfs, man, they have one word that can mean 1,000 different things.
Could be. It's like the Pokemon.
Yeah, it's like Pikachu. Yeah,
Schnarf.
We should set them up. So we today are going to have these two teams play up. It is in the group phase now.
Yeah, we're going to have two matches, and
best of fives.
I think it's going to be a little bit one-sided today, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Yeah. It's a couple teams that are not doing too well. I'm pretty sure they absolutely can't make it out of groups at this point, if I recall correctly.
We'll get the graphic up here, and we'll know for sure.
But, I mean, they still have to play hard because you want to have a win, man. You don't want to go home having 0 wins. Well, let's take a look at the groups that we have so far. You can see for Group A, we have Vipers with 2 wins and Arate with 1 win, whereas Aegis has already lost twice. Dastanan, 2. They've lost twice as well. And then Group B, Noah, of course, leading it, followed by ARPS.
ARPS.
And then Draki and Jaguar. I do have to say, Group B a little bit more stacked with ARPS and Draki. We're going to have to see if Draki can...
Well, Noah in there as well, man.
Well, yeah, Noah's definitely going to get out, right?
Yeah.
And then Group A, it's so clearly Arate and Vipers, right? Sunglove and Calthief going to lead their teams right out of Group A. But in Group B, of course, Noah looks like they're already set to get out. And in fact, I would say that's almost 100% at this point. But what about Draki and ARPS? Because Draki's only played once.
I'm actually going to go with ARPS on this one.
You think?
Draki is... they're good, but they seem like they've atrophied since the open season,
Yeah, they didn't do as well last season as in open season 1. But I don't know. I think they're still a very good team. This is why I was saying there's like 5 really good teams here. It's, as you can see, these 5 that are on top, not counting Aegis, even though they're strong.
ARPS just looking too strong.
They are.
They're really, really
guts.
scary.
Last week they played Noah.
Yeah.
Just wrecked. Like, not even close.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty sick, man. Today, we're going to have Arate against Dacidanan 2, and then Draki against Jaguar. Now, Jaguar, I'm expecting to have results not in their favor here today. But, I mean, they've had a lot more experience on the stage now, so maybe they can play the way that they play when they're at home.
Yeah, it's a possibility, but Draki is the... overall seen as the better team. I think they're a strong favorite here. Of course, they're going to have to win that, and their Knicks have any chance to get out of this group.
Yeah. So, are you probably going to go with me on this one here? Arate and Dacidanan 2? I think Arate wins there.
I think they don't just win, but it's a
dominate
easy
like 3-0.
An easy 3-0.
I honestly think today Draki may very well 3-0 Jaguar.
I believe so.
I want to generate a hype for you guys, but out of all the weeks we've had here, this is the one that is... If we took history and we took all the stats we have from all these players and teams, we would have to assume that the 2 teams on the left side of our screen should be conquering the 2 teams on the right.
Yeah. I think it's pretty obvious.
My God.
Oh, God. Everyone's here for the chicken pizza party.
This is got to be is this the most packed we've ever had it?
Yes.
Look at this.
I would say absolutely yes, this is the most packed. Absolute madness. Everyone just filtered in here in the last 30 minutes.
I'm going to crowd surf to the bathroom on our commercial break.
There was literally no one in here 45 minutes ago.
Yeah.
They were finishing up a Dota 2 tournament, and look at how many people are here now. It's actual madness.
What's this? Did you see the thing at the bottom right?
That's
so
cool.
funny. Yeah, I mean, it's packed down here. But, World of Tanks is a very popular game here in Korea. It's a lot of fun. If you haven't gotten it already, I would go download it. It's free. You're going to start with a few Tier 1 tanks. I recommend using the T1 Cunningham when you get it.
Yeah, that's a tank that you're going to see everyone choose 2 of today. Every team, every match. There's always 2. It's so rare that you go down to 1 nowadays. But yeah, that's going to be a tank that if you do download this game, decide to play, at least you can use the same tank that other people are using here.
Now here we have Arate. Players you want to watch for, obviously, Team Captain Cow Thief. Pig Thief as well, very, very good.
Pig Thief is amazing.
Togi had some great plays last time I was casting with Brendan.
The whole team is actually really, really solid, and this is why they're the champions. I think they're the best team in Korea currently. And just watch out for him, man. Like, especially Pig Thief, he's the puller. He's the guy that runs around the map and gets things done. Whereas Cow Thief, normally he's a big, heavy tank, kind of sitting there guarding certain areas. So it's going to be a lot of fun to see them play.
Bit of a different atmosphere in these 2 booths. The first one light-hearted. The next one they seem almost relaxed. They're at Dasa Danan
well, they're already out. Like, they are not going to advance.
Yeah.
So I think that's fine.
But you might as well have fun trying to bring the best games you can.
No, of course.
And that's exactly what they're going to try to do now. I mean, if they get the chance to take, let's not even just say a few games, but actually cause an upset and beat Arate.
Yeah.
I mean, you're never going to forget these guys if you follow World of Tanks in the Korean scene.
Yeah,
and that means they got a shot of coming back. And this is great practice for them as well.
Oh, certainly.
To sit down here
no
in the
better
booth and
practice
communicate like this. Yeah.
No better practice than being in that booth in front of the biggest audience yet and playing against the best team in Korea.
I was in a PC Bong, actually, a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
Because I haven't hit up the PC Bongs in a while because
you're just like, hey, I'm going to go chill there for a bit, play some games?
Yeah, I was like out with a buddy. There were a lot of World of Tanks people playing in there. It's actually a great atmosphere because you can get that many people together.
Well, yeah, that is quite nice. You can play quite large games.
Yeah.
Normally online it is 15 versus 15.
Yeah, it's huge. Here we have it 7 versus 7. If you're unfamiliar with the format, we give a certain amount of points to each team, and then they use those points to pick out different tiers of tanks. It usually ends up with 2 Tier 1s and 5 Tier 8s.
Well, look at this, Tasteless. This is really interesting. Both teams eliminated Abby because they're bros. And then they both choose Ruinberg and Himmelsdorf. So definitely these guys know which maps are fun and good, and they know which map causes a lot of draws and sucks.
Yeah, Abbey, I'm not a fan of that map.
I've seen one game
it's like
I like
fun
there.
in some pubs, but like a pub is totally different.
Oh, certainly.
Than when you're actually on the competitive. I mean, there's no real incentive a lot of times on Abbey to try to come out and make any kind of initiation here. So you end up with 2 teams turtling. Usually the time runs out. We restart the match.
Yeah, it's got the biggest draw rate of any map we have in here. So we've seen a lot of eliminations on it.
Doesn't it draw like 40% of the time or something like that?
I don't think it's quite that high in Korea, but it's really high. Like
maybe a few weeks ago when I was looking at it, I was like, oh my god, like this is just so shocking for how much it makes.
We had a match on it last week, and it did not draw. So that stat is going to fall a little bit more, but. Anyways, we don't have to see it today, so that's nice. Or at least in this first match. Well, we're just seeing the tanks that these guys have all chosen. Notice they use that KV5 rush on Himmelsdorf.
Yeah,
Brendan was telling me about that.
Yeah, I love those. It was pretty crazy. We're like, are they really going to do this? I thought this might be considered obsolete by now, but no, they might do it again here.
You know, the funniest thing is when everyone chooses KV5s, the other team sees it, they know what's coming.
Yeah, they're not like, okay, I think they're going to get 2 KV5s and maybe do something else. No, it's an all-out KV5. If you're familiar with the KV5 as a tank, it's got the most hit points. And so what they essentially try to do is come around all from one angle and just obliterate one side of the tank defense.
It's by far the biggest tank as well. Like, in fact, if you have one KV5, it doesn't make sense. You have to have more than one because no other tank can actually guard it from being hit.
Yeah, that's true.
They need to fight in pairs. It's like myself and Tasteless.
That's right.
Alone, we're not very powerful, but together. Twice the firepower.
That's why we're the Rangers that drive the Jaegers, Artosis.
That's it.
All right. Arate going with their 2 T1s. We may have a mirror pick here from Dasa Danan too. Well, now we have the T1s off the screen now. Maybe they're going to rotate into having somebody else be using the T1 today.
Yeah, I don't think so. And also, you're always going to pick your T1s first.
At this point in time, that I don't see any other reason to do it unless you have something up your sleeve.
Yeah,
maybe you want to get like the tractor or something like that.
Yeah, you could do something like that, I guess. But even a tractor doesn't change the play that much. But like, let's say that you choose like a tier 2 one, then you know that there's going to be artilleries and the other team can suddenly counter you. So, but the thing is, since that artillery nerf, we don't really ever see artilleries anymore.
I miss that.
I do miss seeing a few artilleries. I thought it was kind of
fun for me to watch. When,
and you're an artillery player, anyways. You love using artilleries.
I love sitting in the back of the map and killing people while everybody else is risking themselves. And then having that panic at the end of the game where they're like, oh,
someone's
God,
coming for you.
There's only 2 tanks and there's 8 of them left, and I'm going to have to hide somewhere. And it's fun. All right, so we have the AMX 1390 going with the speed here, and then the raw strength of the AMX 5100 paired with that. Now passing this back over to Dasadenan, too.
And notice that Pig Thief took that AMX 1390. He's always going to have the fastest tank on his team because he's the one that runs around the map.
He's the runner.
Most.
He's like the
point guard at the back of the court that makes plays and then runs up and...
Not even that far off. We're not even being funny here. That's actually
he's
a pretty
the one
good
that
analogy.
makes plays, for real.
Yeah. So 2 AMX 5100s picked here. Response over here from Arate is to get the T69 and the AMX 5100.
Ooh, an IS-3 from Dasadenan. Now, they might just go all heavies. Look at that.
Do you think they might just go to the city here on the left side?
Yeah.
Try to get the right cover and just push out and do a base capture covering, that center low, whether depending on top or bottom, wherever they spawn, covering that location. I think that's what we're going to see.
I think almost certainly they're going to grab another IS-3. It could be a T-69 or AMX 5100, but yeah, I think this is going to be a city push for sure.
And there it is, that IS-3.
So we have a much quicker tank lineup for their opponents. 3 heavies, a light, and a medium against 5 heavies.
Yeah.
So Arate can absolutely outmaneuver, but for firepower, Dasadenan is not going to be beaten.
Yeah, and Dasadenan, when I was casting with Brendan, they did do that, like we said, the KV5 rush. They did do a variety of other rushes. Frankly, I think Dasadenan, too, doesn't even really care if Arate is knows what's coming. Anyways, looks like it's time to start this match, so let's get ready here. Arate against Dasadenan 2 here on Runeberg. All right, it's on. Arate here in the north, and in the south is Dasadenan 2. Will Dasadenan 2 do that rush here that we're anticipating? And if they do, how will Arate respond? Are they going to hide? Are they going to try to turtle up? Are they going to perhaps, with their faster tanks, going to try to run around the city, down through the middle, and then through the left side and back up from behind?
It's a little bit hard to say. And, with that many heavy tanks, you don't necessarily have to rush through the city. You're going to stay in the city for sure, but you also can turtle up, which could be a possibility here. Now, last week, I actually saw Noah play on this map, and they were the top spot, just as Arate is here. And the team turtled very heavily, and we'll see. It doesn't look like they're going for turtling. But if they do, there are some strategies you can use to break them here.
Certainly. Now, they are going for that city push. This makes sense. We knew about this because the IS-3s and the AMX 100s together usually go great on very urban city maps.
Yeah.
So they're not going to come around here. Now, we have a lot of the Arate tanks over here on the right at about the E0 marker. So I'm wondering if we're going to have a base swap here that could just come down to who's got the clock on their side.
As far
as that capture time goes.
If you get 3+ tanks on that flag, man, it goes down so fast. So if Arate gets 2 out of position, it could be scary, but they have left a heavy back to try to guard that flag a little bit, and now they've spotted what's happening. Will they turn the whole team around?
Well, they're staying there so far. You know what? They might even let them take that spot over there, saying they're going to be a little bit more exposed on the blue flag. And that's where we can try to snipe them, because it's hard for them to really get that much cover over there. Calthief taking fire there, treading DSDN2 there.
Dasadenan is that guy's name.
I had to do a double take. I'm like, which one's his ID and which one's his name, right?
That's right. Well, they have a lot of tanks coming on here. Now, we do have some shots being fired over from that little town area, the road, from Christina. normally a heavy tank player for Arate.
Okay, this actually might end very quickly, Artosis, because it's 3+ tanks here, and that's 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Now, Egg might be taken out. Egg is taken out, but it's still 3+ tanks.
And it looks like they still now have 15 seconds now. All you need to do is kill tanks at a steady pace to stop this, and they're doing it so far. They're keeping them down a little bit.
10 seconds remaining here. Pig Thief treaded right now, but now they bumped it back up to 20 here as they're saving time, forcing Dacidanon to shift around here while still trying to cover that blue circle.
Well, right now, Pig Thief coming up once again. He's added a lot of firepower here, even though he's the light tank. Missing right there on Einhard. Nano from behind right now, trying to get some hits in as well. They have 24 seconds left.
Now, Cowthief, it's actually gone up to 30 now, as I think they keep having to rolling off that. And a counter-base capture here. So all they have to do is just keep Dacidanon from hitting the 0 marker, and they can win this.
Well, you know what? They're doing a great job of it, Tasteless. There's 3 IS-3s left, but they're being surrounded. One gets killed off. Only 2 IS-3s left. And the thing is, when you have a heavy tank like that, man, and Arate is surrounding you, you can't turn your turret quick enough. It's impossible. If they know which way your turret's turned, someone comes up from behind and shoots you.
Nice shot there. It's 1 IS-3 remaining. I can't imagine how, well, this is just going to be over here, as Danon himself is now taken out. You know what? They set up a trap, and it worked. Dacidanon went right for it. Arate won that easily. Yeah, that was handedly,
ridiculously one-sided. You know what? It was a good idea, a good strat for them to try, but the thing is, Arate is just too good. They had tanks in position to slow it down enough to get back. Then they just surrounded, and that's the thing about the flag. It's in the center for a reason. It's not up against the wall or anything. You can be surrounded.
It's not a nook. It's not a cranny.
No.
It's not a location that you can just all hug one corner and be okay. And coming from those different sides was what allowed those heavies to be punished. The turrets, as you said, Artosis, don't rotate quick enough for you to catch them off guard.
Yeah, this isn't like some FPS where you just like twitch and hit the guy that comes out.
It's not a game about clicking on faces.
No,
okay, which is what some FPS are.
Especially,
it's clicking on tanks, but not just. I kind of hit him at that moment. The moment that your turret's turning, the accuracy begins to decrease greatly.
Yeah.
So you have to basically position your tank in a location, be ready for them to come around that corner, and make sure the rest of your the tank is covered from the other sides.
You know, we've seen a lot of strats like this where the worst team goes and tries to capture the flag with so many tanks that it goes down real quick. But as long as the defending team stays calm, that's like literally it. You just stay calm, you let it get really low, and you make them either back off or you kill tanks slowly but surely.
Yep.
You can't just rush it because they're already in position to shoot you. You have to carefully take your position, outmaneuver them, especially when it's 5 heavies.
Yeah. Will Dacidanon do something similar to that last strategy? I think there's actually a high chance they will.
Well,
this is the way they like to play. Yeah, I was about to say, it is Himmelsdorf. And they did do the KV5 strat. I don't know if it's going to work. I would love to cast it. I would love to see how it unfolds.
I just want all 3 games to be like crazy games like that where we can just watch the beauty of Arate falling back into place, getting into position, outmaneuvering the team, and killing them all.
By the way, talk about incredible patience there. Letting them take that. I mean, there was 3+ tanks on that, on the blue base in the capture mode.
Stop.
And I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, I mean, look, Arate's good, but they have 15 seconds to kill one of the many tanks that are on here, and they did a very good job. And throughout most of that match, there was about 15 seconds left on that clock.
Yeah.
It shrink down to 10, and boop, they'd knock it back up to 20, and it'd shrink down to 10 again. They'd take out another tank. It was really nicely done. Talk about clutch play.
Well, that's Arate for you. Really great play from the entire team. Everyone did their part.
Yeah.
I really feel like they're just going to be the champions again.
There's a high chance,
I think they're the best team in Korea still. Yeah, Noah's amazing. Some of these other teams like Viper and ARPS are coming up, but man, every time I watch Arate, it's like a ballet.
Oh, I'm sorry. The map is Prokhorovka.
Oh,
Himmelsdorf is the third map.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Well, this is also a fun map. This is a really, really open map. But it is hilly. You don't want to call it like a mountainous map where there's a lot of valleys that you can't go down, but there's a lot of hill points. So you're not going to see as many heavy tanks on this map. If we do, it's going to be a big surprise. You're going to want to go with those light tanks and those medium tanks.
That's right.
Something with good turret turning ability. Something that's going to be able to get in and out and not get stuck. And also, this is definitely not a map you want to end up getting treaded on in a firefight.
That's for sure.
Because if you're on the top of a hill, you could probably be hit from everywhere else on the entire map.
You know what's also interesting? Arate is at bottom. Now, a lot of times on this map, the better team is at top.
Yeah.
And the worst team, the team that is the underdog, normally goes over behind the tracks with at least half their tanks and tries to utilize that kind of high ground to shoot down on their enemies. Now, will Arate do something like that? Because people do that against them a lot, and they pick it apart. So I'm just interested in what strategy they're going to use.
Well, we're all going to learn something here today. These guys are very good on every single map they face off on. Dasa Danan really wanting this map. Do they have any surprises for us? We have seen some tactics like hugging these train tracks here.
Yes.
And trying to push through there. We've also seen pushing in the road on the left side of the map there. Actually pushing on the left side of the road. Hiding in the bushes. Because even though it's a road and the tank could drive on it, this is not a little bit too obvious a spot to put that there. Anyways,
tanks drive down the road when the area is already occupied.
Yes,
okay?
after they've won the map, that's when they start to drive on the road on Prokhorovka. Otherwise, they try to be a little bit sneakier. So we have the T1 and AMX 1390 here for Dasa Danan Arate.
They could go for a tractor here. Arate has in the past from the south position on Prokhorovka gone for tractors.
And that was the season that they won.
Yes.
When everybody else was staying vanilla and going just two T1s.
When everyone else was a coward. Oh, we already had some pics from Dasa Danan without
Something's
Arate
going on here. All right.
There you go.
There we go.
Well, Pig Thief always gets basically the AMX 1390. That's like the tank that he's almost always on. And they do go with two T1s. I'm not surprised. No one has used a tractor this season yet in Korea.
That might have been some meta stuff that has been phased out now. The tractor has a better radio on it, so it's better for spotting the other tanks on the map.
Well,
but it does not have the mobility
T1 overall,
T1.
though. I mean,
well, the T1, if
tractor's never going to beat the T1 in a fight. That can be annoying.
And to top it off, the tractor's not going to be able to steal the other guy's base in the middle of a firefight.
That's
so got to keep that in as well. Pershing now.
That's actually a popular tank here. In fact, I would not be surprised, rather, if Cow Thief takes a Pershing as well.
All right, back over to Arate. Cow Thief going with the T69, and we have our second AMX 1390.
All right, so the last tank they take will either be an AMX 1390 or a T69 for Arate. Whereas for Dasa Danan, I'm not sure exactly. They have some different strategies, so it could be anything, really. And
T69.
So whether they go 3 mediums and 2 lights, or will they go 3 lights and 2 mediums?
3 lights. So we're going to have a lot of speed here for Arate, which I think is probably the best way to play this map.
Well, they are the team that outmaneuvers other teams the most. Them and Noah are just so good at moving around the map and killing people.
It's funny, too, because anybody who's played World of Tanks knows that tanks do not feel like the most mobile things that there are. I mean, even when you're in a light tank, it's really fast. It's still, they can be clunky, and you really got to appreciate when you have actual like ninja-like ability from one team to move around and take the other team out. It's really impressive. Let's see if we have that here now as we start game number 2 here with Dasa Danan 2 and Arate.